Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ella, a second year medical student, and in this video I'm going to talk about time management. Now, what is time management? Time management is the ability for you to productively and effectively make the most out of your day. And it's such an important skill for people to have in general, making the most out of our day and using the precious time that we have effectively and productively. It does not mean that you have to be studying or working all day long. It just means that you can make the most out of your day. You make the most out of your relaxing time, you make the most out of the time where you're meant to work, but you also make the most out of other time like meeting friends, etc. And it just means that you have this effective system in place for your day so that you're avoiding periods of just procrastination and not doing anything, and you're really making the most out of your day in a happy and kind of boosting atmosphere. So in this video I'm going to talk about how to build this time management and what are the steps that we should take to improve our time management. If you're interested in these kind of videos and want to get a bit of an insight into the life of a student, the life of a medical student in London, or you just want to know more about the chronicles of med school and studying, then make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button. Now without any further ado, let's get started. The first most important thing is having one place where you can find all your commitments, you can find your calendar, your schedule, and you can find to-do lists as well. And this makes it just so much easier for you when you wake up in the morning. For this, I would recommend Notion, to be honest. I have been using Notion on and off, and I found it really helpful for things like to-do lists and calendars. It can be sometimes difficult to have everything in one place. So what I've also started using is just having a calendar app to block everything out, and then also having a to-do list on the side. And I think you can't reach a compromise with this, but it's just really important for you to not be kind of looking around all of your phone trying to figure out all of your commitments for the day. So this dashboard, this is how it looks. It just covers a lot of different things. It has university, YouTube, a lot of language goals, fitness, a lot of random things that you can make use of really nicely. I'm gonna link the video that showed me how to do this dashboard. It was really helpful. I'm gonna link it in the description box, and it's just really nice overall. And then I also have a weekly to-do list. This is very outdated, by the way. I don't use this weekly to-do list as much. I'm going to show you what I use for to-do lists later on a bit. But it's just really nice for you to use, and then you also have a calendar. So having something like this is really helpful. Now, the second most important thing in time management that I found so crucial, so helpful in managing my time is time blocking. So what is time blocking basically? The definition of time blocking is as follows. It's a productivity technique for personal time management where a period of time, typically a day or week, is divided into smaller segments or blocks for specific tasks or to-dos. And how I use it is I use my Apple Calendar, and I just time block all the different tasks, or for example if I have a lecture, if I have work, or if I'm meeting a friend, in blocks throughout the day. So I kind of have a general idea of what I need to get done and around when I need to do it as well. So I would literally time block everything, my gym sessions, uni, work, even travel time between uni and work, etc. And these are some tips that I think might be helpful in time blocking, because it can also end up becoming stressful, or it can promote more procrastination if you don't do it right, or if you don't give yourself leeway in the time blocking. So how do we go about time blocking, or what are the main tips that I'd recommend? The most important thing with time blocking is to make sure that you are putting in time, or you're leaving gaps for winding down. So for example, when you come back to lecture, don't time block a study session or a gym session like 20 minutes after the lecture. You have to give yourself time to wind down, go back home, change, etc. And I'd recommend leaving them empty. I don't know if it's a true reason, but I find that psychologically it makes me feel much better when looking at my calendar and I see a lot of empty, like small gaps. It just makes me think that, oh, I have time to rest, like whew. Whereas if I time block even the winding down time, I write it down, it still makes me feel like this is a chore that I have to do. Another really important tip that I'd recommend you do is giving whatever tasks that you give yourself more time that you think it will take. It's way better than underestimating and finding out that actually I didn't finish a task yet and having to kind of go over and feeling stressed that you've ruined the schedule that you've set for yourself. Another thing that I also really like doing in my calendar is color coding and color blocking. So giving each block a color. For example, I have a certain color for my work, I have a certain color for studying, for uni, and it just makes it more visually aesthetic. I think that's the only reason, and it just also makes it a bit more exciting. That's just something in terms of aesthetics. And then another thing that I'd also really recommend is batching similar tasks or like small tasks together. So if you have a lot of small things that you need to do around the day, I'd recommend just giving it a nice chunk of the day and then just doing everything straight away. It just makes it less chaotic throughout your day. And if you have really similar tasks or simple tasks, I'd also recommend doing that as well. So that's in terms of time blocking. In terms of general tips for time management, it's really important to prioritize tasks and learn how to prioritize. Learn how to look at your to-do list and mark a task as really important and raise it up in your to-do list so that you know that this needs to get done ASAP. So what I'd recommend is look at your to-do list, just writing it all down and looking at what's important, what needs to be done by today or by tomorrow. Now, another tip that I have, and this is for the time where you really need to focus, it's really important for you to eliminate distractions. So once you hit the time where, okay, I need to start getting work done now, you really need to set the mood, set the scene. Things like, for example, having background music or turning off your phone, putting it on silent mode, or having a cup of tea with you or a cup of coffee and having a small snack and really prepping the mood so that you're ready to really focus and study at this time. And it's really important so that you can be productive in the time blocking sessions. I mean, the only way that a calendar or time blocking can work is by actually sticking to these sessions and making sure that you are doing the work that you set out to do for yourself. Another thing that's quite nice and I also use is a pomodoro technique, having a 25-minute timer and then a 5-minute break, or a 50-minute timer and then a 10-minute break. You can adjust it however you want. That's something that could be helpful as well for your focus sessions or for your study sessions. So another really important thing that needs to be done with time management is actually building the habit of checking your to-do list, checking your calendar every day in the morning. I mean, it's all good and amazing if you're making these to-do lists, if you're being organized and time blocking your time, but you need to actually check the time. You need to actually check your to-do lists and tasks in order to actually get them done. The next tip is something that I struggled with quite a lot, and it's learning how to say no. But it's not just learning how to say no, it's also learning that before you say yes to something, you really have to check your calendar. You really have to check your commitments and your deadlines and making sure that you are not giving something up that is important just to hang out, for example, for a day, when you could delay that, like hang out or fun day out for a few more days after you finish what's really important. So it's learning to actually check my calendar before I say yes. Because the amount of times where, for example, a friend says, oh, let's do this, and I'm really excited and I say yes, and then the next day I'm checking my calendar and I realize actually I have an assignment that is due, for example, on Friday of that week. And it's really embarrassing afterwards, messaging that friend and being like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And it's annoying for both parties in the end. So just get used to not just learning to say no, but also before you say yes, check your calendar. And then also don't be embarrassed to say no. Don't be embarrassed to just be like, oh, I would love to do this, it sounds amazing, but actually, can we do it this day instead? Now, the last thing, linking to that point a bit, is just to make sure that you are staying ahead of deadlines. Make sure that if you have any deadline that comes up, you're writing it straight away in your calendar. You're setting alerts. Calendars usually have this feature where you can set an alert, for example, a few days before the actual deadline. So that's mainly it for my time management. I think if you were to take anything out of this video, there's 3 main things. First one is using calendars and time blocking your time. It's so important. Second one is actually prioritizing tasks. And then third one is knowing how to eliminate your distractions and setting the scene, setting the mood so that you can actually get the work done. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, and if you have any videos that you'd like to see, just make sure to comment them down below. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!